Hello, friends. Welcome into Seattle Seahawks today. I am Tom Downey, here with some rumors around Seattle as a not-so-great season continues. Let's begin with Russell Wilson, who I think we could all, I would hope, agree with this statement. He has not been the same guy and has struggled outright since his return. The Seahawks offense overall this year, even dating back to the pre-injury stuff from Russell Wilson, hasn't played very well. And I think you have to at least partially, if not more than that, blame Russell Wilson. He looks off, maybe perhaps because of his injury. Overall this year, these numbers don't look terrible. Almost 65% completion percentage, a pretty good TD to interception ratio. He missed a couple games. Those numbers could look better. The QBR does not look very good, but I think we saw it against Washington too. A very, very slow start for that game, and his numbers since his injury are outright bad. His completion percentage drops from 72%, which is awesome, to 55.7. That's outright horrible. His yards per attempt, 9.57 to 6.34. This is a bigger drop-off for Russ than what we saw last year when he was at an MVP level to an okay quarterback, above average starter level. Right now it was above average starter playing pretty decently to that guy isn't even a starter right now. Now you've seen Russell Wilson make big plays. You saw the near comeback effort against Washington. I'm not saying it's gone altogether, but Russell Wilson is missing throws he usually makes. He missed some easy throws against Washington. Now, he responded by making some nice ones later on in the game, but Russell Wilson just looks off. Maybe he came back too soon from his injury. Maybe the offense isn't meshing for him. For whatever reason, the entirety of the offense, not just Russell Wilson, but the offensive line, I think the game planning. How does DK Metcalf have 0 targets for the majority of the game? What are we doing out there? That makes absolutely 0 sense. That's a failure of the coaching staff. The offense as a unit is broken. And fair or not, a lot of the blame does fall on the team's franchise quarterback. So with that in mind, what is your panic level right now over Russell Wilson? If you get the ad break here on YouTube, head down to the pinned comment and let me know how you're feeling. It's a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being you're not worried at all he's going to bounce back, 10 being you're freaking out. Let me know what you have to say in the comments section. Let's talk coaching now, and this one is interesting. Fansided says Seattle should go hire Jim Harbaugh. Now, Harbaugh has done a fantastic job this year at Michigan. Went from, maybe Michigan should dump him to, hey, they are a game away from being in the college football playoff this season. And I understand some of the frustration around Pete Carroll. He's aging. We mentioned the offense. I think the commitment to the run when it's not working has got to go. Carroll's 70 years old, been the head coach since 2010. That's a hell of a long time for any NFL head coach. At a certain point, both sides do end up choosing to part ways one way or the other. Maybe it is close to that time for Pete Carroll. But for Harbaugh to be the next head coach, I don't get it. He's at his alma mater. He is on the verge of succeeding with what he wanted to do for so long, bring a national championship to Michigan. I don't know if Harbaugh wants to return to the NFL. That rumor pops up every single year, but I'm not quite buying it because I think he's at a pretty good spot with Michigan, and this season is going to buy him a very long time in terms of him being the guy. Now, if you want to move on from Pete Carroll, which I know some of you guys do in the comments section, I also know it's a bit of a divisive topic. I think that's fair. I get where you're coming from. The sustained success with Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson in Seattle, I don't want to understate it. Yes, it's only brought 1 Super Bowl ring, but outside of Tom Brady, that's all anyone's really gotten in the past, 10, 15, 20 years at this point. The recent playoff lack of success is a problem. You've won 1 playoff game since 2017, and you're not going to make one this year, I don't believe. The stunning drop from 12 wins to 3-8 to what this team has done this year and the back half of last year is a very valid red flag. So with all that in mind, and I think you guys certainly have enough information to answer this question because you guys are the Seahawks fans after all, what do you want to do with Pete Carroll? Type for fire him or type in K for keep. Speaking of fire in a positive context, these Seahawks hoodies are exactly that. Up to 60% off a wide variety of Seahawks hoodies, perfect this time of the year, this holiday season, when you head over to chatsports.com/Seahawks hoodie. That is 60% off at chatsports.com/Seahawks hoodie. They've also got quarter zips, some sweaters that aren't hoodies on there as well, a wide variety. So check the comment section and the description. I'll put that link in there for you guys to help make your holiday shopping just a little bit easier. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball now, and namely, where is Carlos Dunlap? The big addition last year who played so well for Seattle. His numbers have regressed substantially this year, and his snap counts have plummeted. Now, the Seahawks defense overall this year is fantastic in the red zone. However, they are near the bottom of the NFL in outside of the red zone. They're allowing a lot of long, sustained drives, a lot of time of possession, a lot of first downs. They are the ultimate bend but don't break defense this year. And in terms of getting the offense to break, pass rush has not been great. Carlos Dunlap, who was so dynamic last year for Seattle, has a meager half sack this year. 0 tackles for loss. Now, Seattle in the offseason kind of tweaked their defense, a little bit more bare fronts, trying to get some different personnel usage out there. And their really 6-man defensive end edge rusher rotation is interesting. Rasheem Green actually leads the way with some interior pass rush value. So too does Kerry Hyder. Then there's Benson Mayowa. So 541, 409, 345. Benson Mayowa just barely ahead of Carlos Dunlap, who, as I mentioned, his numbers the past 2 weeks have fallen off a cliff. Darrell Taylor at 316, and then Alton Robinson. And what is so interesting, at least to me, is that the snap counts are a complete inversion of the pressure rates. Now, I'm using Pro Football Focus's pressures based on pass rush snaps only. The snap counts you saw were total snaps. So again, there is some usage implications that get impacted here. Some guys have just better opportunities overall in their selection of pass rush reps, but Rasheem Green 7%, it's not very good. Kerry Hyder, not great. You want to be above double digits ideally. Well, Darrell Taylor, who I have been very impressed by as a pass rusher this year, and Alton Robinson are at 12%. Dunlap's at 9.3. I think that Seattle might not trust Carlos Dunlap as a run stopper. I know they don't trust Darrell Taylor really as a run stopper, but I'd rather see Dunlap out there than a Kerry Hyder. I think there's more upside in the most important part of the defense, the pass rush. So I am a bit confused with this Carlos Dunlap rotation as of late. I know his numbers are down. I keep playing him. What do you guys think? Should Carlos Dunlap play more for the Seahawks? Y for yes, he should. N for no, he should not. Now, regardless of whether Seattle wins or loses or continues to lose, we'll have free Seahawks videos all year long between myself and Megan Payton. So if you want free videos, and we're still going to be here in the off season, hit that big red button and subscribe today. I wanted to spend some time now on the Adrian Peterson signing and really what it means for Seattle. NFL Network report says the signing of Peterson shows Seattle's trying to win now. And I think that's right. As weird as it sounds out loud, I think that's what's going on here. Pete Carroll said something very similar. Quote, "We're trying to get ready to win this football game. So I'm going to see if Adrian has got something to offer us. Just in his presence and his toughness, he brings something. So let's see what happens. We're just trying to get the right mix." Seattle, though, their problem, as we'll get into more in depth here, is that they're not going to win that many games this year. So before we break down the remaining schedule for a 3-win Seahawks team, predict their record this year. I thought they were going to be a playoff team, and I was wrong. Let me know what you think their mark will be in the comments section. Now, Seattle is not out of the playoff picture at this point, but they got to come damn close to winning out. And really that begins with beating the 49ers. If Seattle drops a game to San Francisco, guarantees them a sub-500 mark, and I don't see them making playoffs. But if they beat the Niners, they got a game against the Texans, a tough game against the Rams, but also games against the Bears and Lions. So if you beat the Niners, there are 3 other games on your schedule that should be counted as wins outside of the NFC West. And then all of a sudden, well, Seattle starts to put themselves in a little bit better positioning in terms of being able to make a push for a playoff spot. It's a long shot, make no mistake about it. I think I might have mentioned 3-8, they're 3-7, my bad. I am just very curious to see what this team is able to do down the stretch. To be quite honest, my expectations are low at 3-8. That was my first time. 3-8. My bad. My expectations are low, but they're going to keep trying to win games. Because what else does Seattle have? What are they tanking for? They don't have their own first-round pick. They're better off trying to win games and see what they can do and, build some confidence for next year and see what their pieces are, as opposed to tanking to give the Jets a better draft pick. I mean, sure, you might save a couple better picks on day 2 and day 3, but I don't think you'll see Seattle really tank at all this year.